Hey guys, so welcome to episode 5. I have found out something thanks to one of the viewers, Ravendem13. They informed me that you can actually wear these backpacks, so that's what we're going to start off with. Actually, no, we're going to start off with sleeping. Hooray! But what I wanted to show you was that there's a hotkey for these backpacks, and I didn't even realize it. I honestly just thought they were item backpacks. But if I pressed shift and my backpack hotkey, it opens up this backpack slot thing, and I can put in items like coal. Oh, maybe not. Well, that's meant to be able to assign certain things to the backpack. I probably need to put a backpack in there first, actually, now that I think about it. So if I put this backpack in here and then try and put coal, yeah, there we go. So this backpack will now automatically pick up coal. The other thing about putting this backpack in here is that if I now close the GUI, it's gone from my inventory. Or is it? If I press the hotkey again, it opens that backpack. And it is actually on my person, but the problem is smart moving doesn't conflicts with the rendering a bit, and as you can see, things don't quite go to plan. That's okay though, because I bet most of you play in first person, so I can get over it. But if I throw this coal out on the ground and pick it up, it's not in my inventory because it's in my backpack, because I told it to pick up coal. So that's the thing. But if I want to take the backpack out, I can. And I think what we'll do is we'll put Crafty in there. And I renamed this backpack by shift right click, and you can put in a new name. So now we have Crafty the backpack. Right, so now whenever I press K, I have access to my crafting backpack. Isn't that awesome? So that's the first thing. Thank you, Ravendem13, that was very helpful. The next thing is that I planted a bunch of trees, but more importantly, I did a little bit of work on the inside of the foundry. Not on the outside, because I wanted to build that with you guys, but I have made the awesome cobble gen. Our flash boiler is full of water, not so much full of steam. I think we'll get it to burn some more coal. And I can now turn the cobble gen off and on, and I can turn the ore smasher off and on. The ore smasher is a little bit broken right now, and it's to do with factory manager, Steve's factory manager, and I'll explain that in a bit. But basically, with the steam and everything, I can now just produce as much cobble as I want. And it goes, and it looks pretty too. This still needs to be prettied up. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that yet. But first of all, I think we need to put some walls on the place. I obviously also set up the crucible. I needed some more brass for this process, mostly for the pipes and the 2 new smashers. Those are the old smashers. These are the new ones. So they're going to happily work away because I need the cobble and the stone in order to build this up. And I will while this is happening. Are you producing enough steam, by the way? You are, and you already burnt through all of it, so let's just put some more in there. Because we're going to fire this up. So this is going to smash some silver. Silver's going to fly out because the chest doesn't properly block it. That's problem number 1, is that items like to fly out. The other thing is that this has been acting a little weird. And by weird, what I mean is sometimes I'll come in and need to break and replace some of the things like the vacuums won't actually work until I break and replace it. This wasn't originally working before the start of this episode when I first tried to record. So what would happen is that things would fly out regardless because the vacuum wouldn't pick them up. And the flash boiler was completely empty. No water, no steam, and it wouldn't take steam or water until I broke a piece and replaced it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. FaxBeds needs to be updated, it seems. So if things get really frustrating, then we'll probably move on to a different different set of technology in the pack in order to achieve things. But for now, it's not so annoying that I'm not going to use it. Okay, so the next issue with this setup is that once upon a time you used to be able to tell things to only trigger on air. So this is using a block update detector. By the way, I used a cable cluster because I managed to get hold of 3 ender pearls between episodes. And the cable cluster now contains a block gate and a block detector. So what you used to be able to do is get a block detector. It's searching up, which is between the 2 smashes, and it's looking for anything that isn't air, or is air, sorry. So anything that isn't, because this is the range of meta that any block would have. So if you're inverting that, technically that should be air. Alternatively, you used to be able to do use ID and then type in an ID in here, but now all you can do is get access to the search function. And if I said air, or if I knew the ID for air, which is 0, then it would just let me hit enter now and accept it, but it won't, because it wants me to pick a block. So you don't seem to be able to choose air anymore. And I can always do, is it not planks? But the problem with not planks is everything is not planks, including air and including ore. So the issue is, because what this is doing is it's placing a block every time it's not planks, right? So let me just change that to show you exactly what I mean. So now, whenever the block detector triggers, it's going to say, is it not planks? Well, if it's not planks, I'm going to place a block. And that's what it's doing, like, exactly and perfectly. But the problem is, if I sped this up, because right now the trigger interval is 5 seconds, but if I change this to 1 second, because this process takes more than 1, as you can see, it's just spitting out ore after ore after ore all over the ground. And that's because everything is not planks unless it is planks. So I need to be able to use a non-inverted version that says, is it air? And if it's not air, then place, if it is air, then place the block, right? Unfortunately, I don't seem to be able to do that right now with Steve's Factory Manager ever since the improvement to the search function. Air is no longer able to be selected. So for now, what I have to do is leave it how I've got it now, but then just set the interval to like 15, right? So every 15 seconds it'll place a block and smash it. And why 15? Because I just want to be careful that it is actually going to do that. That's another thing about flex beards, is items that get spat out don't seem to render properly, and you can walk around and you'll undoubtedly pick up something. There we go, 15 seconds passed, and the thing flew out. So that's weird. I think we'll actually change that to 10. 15 is probably a little too protective. And the other thing I need to do is get some inventory cable and stick the chest like here. So let's go do that right now. Actually, do I have it on me? Backpack? No, I don't. I think I've got a spare piece of cable somewhere. Yes, I do. Great. And actually, because I don't feel like having everything fall everywhere, not sure why I started running back, but we need to make a dolly. Is that not the dolly? Dolly. Nope. Oh, I'm still in cheat mode from the last episode. Recipe mode. Thank you, Dolly. Ah, it's the other way around. Okay, cool. So let's pick you up and put you back down. And now this is going to be confused, so we just want to tell it the chest. And everything else should be fine. But we are going to place a full block. I tried using a half block, but that didn't seem to work. So we'll use a full block. And we seem to be out of steam. Yes, indeed we are. So we managed to get 2 stacks of cobble, including the half a stack I had from testing the thing out. And as you can see, things have spat out. And so we got a little bit more, but you can't see them because flaxbeards is weird like that. So I love flaxbeards, but more and more little niggling things are showing up as I use it. And I'm really hoping that some of these bugs get fixed ASAP before my patience runs out. Something that we're going to do right now though is let's take out our solar and fix up this water. That should be enough. Water everywhere. No, that's not what I wanted. But we can do that and break that one. Fortunately, that water can't get to my precious lava. And then we'll just split you in half. I think I only need 2 of those, yeah. And there we go. We have a very cool little reservoir for the water. I'll probably replace the bottoms of those actually. Let's do that. Are you the same kind? You are not. So let's just do that. Cut those out. This is a little trick for getting the most out of your resources when you're only doing it like this, is to use the smallest slice possible, and that gets you the same result. So it still looks like they would be full blocks under there. But now we have a very cool little brick reservoir for the water, along with our brick cobble gen and our little brick stoppers on this mess. Let's put some more coal in here, get everything going again. So as you can see, it rips through your coal, that's for sure. So we need to get tree farm or something going in order to feed this thing properly, because otherwise I'm just going to be mining coal all day, every day. The next thing we wanted to do, as shown by these pillars, is that we wanted to build things up. And let's go sleep. How I miss you too much time. Monsters nearby, right? Spider on my roof. Oi, you. Right. There we go. So, I've been making some bricks, and what we're going to do with the bricks is we were going to simply just do this. And yes, I'm keeping the cobble lip there, because what you'll see is, once I've done some more of this, and we'll make sure to do the other side with what I have left. Let's take that out and start cooking it. Is that we get this cool, like, here's the foundation of the building, is built up from the floor, and this is where the actual masonry starts. Now it's not going to be super boring and just like a brick oblong. There's going to be some mixture of wood in there, and I was going to do the corners wood, these ones, wood straight up, and we're going to have like a little wooden awning there, as well as a little blacksmith forge in this corner. and then we're going to stick some chimneys on it. So let me come back once I have the stone to do all this, and I will see you then. Alright guys, I came back, mostly because it's taken a while to generate the stone, which is okay, and boy oh boy does this use a lot of steam, so I'm actually almost all the way through my, my coal. But what I thought we could do in the meantime is I'm quite interested in getting myself a better weapon. As you can see, my sword is almost out, but we're a technological society, so why are we still using silly old swords? So I thought what we would do is we'd try and make a musket and musket cartridge. So what we want to do is we want to make some iron barrels, a flintlock, and a wooden stock. Those are pretty easy, and in fact, if I get into our crafting, still getting used to that hotkey, go into here, I can make one of them. No, I can't. I still don't have any plates. Let me make some plates. So we want like, now remember, for every one of these I also get 0.5, so it's 1 to 1 and 5, so that's actually 15 plates. So I'll make 15 plates, why not? Put that in there, pour out, and I'll be back once I get the 15 plates. Okay, I have 15 plates. So what we wanted to do was put those in there. We want 2 iron barrels, and we also want a flintlock, which we need a flint and a steel for. It needs to be a brand new flint and steel, so let's go make one of those. And I have some redstone in here too, so we want a piece of redstone, flint, and let's just quickly make the flint and steel, and the piece of redstone, flintlock. There we go, this is the firing mechanism. And then we want a wooden stock. Right, now we have everything for a musket. So we just put them all together. Ta-da, musket. So that's not where things end though. This musket also needs ammunition, which we have none of. I'm reloading it now, but there's nothing to reload it from, so it's just going to keep trying to reload. So what we need to do is we need to make musket cartridges, and I need iron nuggets for that. So we go back in here, iron nuggets. But we also need a couple of pieces of paper, which we can get from our smaller reed farm down here. Right, paper please. Not the game. Like that, and then we want some gunpowder, which I've been collecting a little bit because I've killed a couple of creepers. So that's good. And a fire bat or two when we went to the nether. So it's in here somewhere, 6 gunpowder. Right. We have 8 musket cartridges. So this effectively means we have 8 shots, I think. There we go, we've loaded in a musket shot, and if I miss. So the thing about the musket is it's kind of like a shotgun of sorts. Well, the blunderbuss is more like the shotgun. Let's try that again. Blam! We got it. So that's not where it ends either, because if we take a look at esteemed innovation, I don't need those in there. We want to go to steam power, no, exosuit, no, flintlock weapons, musket. Found a way to make a musket, blah 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 blah. This device requires reloading between every shot. Use the musket cartridge, ammunition, hold right click, blah blah blah. But we can also attach a spyglass to it. Found a way that I can equip my musket with a spyglass in order to more accurately target foes. This allows me to zoom in while firing and slightly increases accuracy. And the other thing is I can attach a blaze barrel to it, equipping my musket with a special barrel imbued with the infernal power of the blaze superheats my musket balls, lighting my targets on fire. I can also make it bolt action. I found a much more efficient way to reload my musket. The bolt action, installing this mechanism on my musket will significantly decrease reload times. So the way you have to do this is that we have the basic blunderbuss now, right? Not blunderbuss, sorry. Musket. But if we rebuilt it, and I don't mind using the resources to show that, but if we rebuilt it using the special stuff like the bolt action, we would actually find quite a lot of improvement. Now, I'm not entirely confident in saying that, but if I take this plus a piece of redstone, I think it was, we will get the bolt action. Paper, you can come out. So control click. I'm never sure how this thing works. Yeah, see, so when you're making the musket, you would put the bolt action there, right? And instead we'd use 2 blaze barrels. So here's the thing. We've got our sword, we've got our musket, and we are going to go attack the nether, because we saw where those blazes were, right? And that's what we're going to go handle while the stone cooks up, or the stone manufactures, really. Need to load you up with some more coal, don't I? We've got a stack and a half in there. So let's put 16 coal into the flash boiler and head off to the nether. Because we know where its nether fortress is. So I'll be back once I get to the nether fortress, and then we can hunt some blazes. See you soon. Alright, I'm back, but actually I'm quite wrong. Quite wrong indeed. What we need is a engineering table, not to build the thing from scratch again. So I was half right in my original thinking, which is that we would just add it on. We have the we have our, whoops, still forgetting that hotkey. We still have our bolt action, which I definitely want to go for the bolt action, but what we actually need is we need an engineering table, and this is going to serve us in the future as well. We need some cobble and a plate, and I have that. So things are going to be a lot cheaper than going into the nether, fortunately. And you are not meant to be on. Please turn off. Thank you. You were meant to be on though, that's fine. Don't mind all the noise. Cobble. Now I remember. Except I didn't need that because I already had cobble. Cobble plus iron plate gets us an engineering table. In you go, cobble. So if we stick the engineering table over here, we've got this interface. Anything we put in here is what we want to modify. As you can see, the musket only has one slot, so we can't have the blaze barrel or the spyglass on there if we're going to take the bolt action. We're definitely going to take the bolt action because reloading is rather slow otherwise. But now, reloading is quite a bit quicker. And I can go off and hunt horses. Not that hunting horses is all that useful. But it does the right amount of damage too, because horses have a fair amount of health. Did we get leather from that? We get leather from horses. I think Pam's might do that. And I'm wasting all my lovely cartridges. So, there we go. We have a replacement for our sword. It's only got 4 shots in it. But I think it's worth it. Just make sure that it's reloaded for the next shot. Always keep your gun loaded and the safety off. And by that I mean do the exact opposite. So, we have a musket. Do we have enough stone? Not quite yet, but we will do. Ah yes, I was making more food. By the way, I've been living off toast. The way I've been making toast is that I will come down here to my very temporary wheat farm. I'll grab some wheat. None is grown right now, so I can't. And then I'll go into the little builder's shack and I'll grind it up into flour. This is the only way you can get flour used for making bread the normal way in this mod pack. And then I'll take the flour and I'll cook it into bread like that, and then I'll cook the bread again and get toast. And toast is a heck of a lot better than bread for your hunger. So that's how I've been feeding myself. Should have covered that back in episode 3, but what we can start doing while we wait for some of that stone to cook up is we can start building the corners out. So let's do that. We can make the frame of the building. So, wooden corners. Why wooden corners? Well, I feel like whatever civilization is living here is kind of a low fantasy one. A low fantasy one that uses kind of early industrial technology, for right now anyway, because of course we've got other mods in the pack, so it might improve over time. But for right now, this group of people, or whoever it is, they have old building techniques, which is that you would your house's foundation, especially larger buildings, would use huge amounts of wooden supports in order to frame the housing. Stone would never be used to actually hold up the house because the stone didn't often have strong enough grouting to stick the bricks and things together, unless it was like a highly engineered building, which obviously came around a lot later in society. So instead what they did was they made their supports out of wood, and they built the stone to be held up by the wood. So what we want to do is, already running out, we want to bring the wood across like we did with that, but we want to do it such that the supports are on the inside of the building, so we have slats going across the roof, right? And to do that, we'll just come across like this, and then we will come out this way. Like that. And this holds the roof up. This kills the baby. Old internet meme. Right. So, let's fast forward and I will get these supports done. See you soon. Well, I ran out of wood. That's the problem with using logs. And I also forgot to replant my trees like a dummy. But that's okay, because what we can do now is we can use some of the stone that we've got in order to start that process. So let's build up the stone walls around this. Okay, I'm back. Actually, not quite. Here we go. So, we have some of that stuff going, which is nice. Let me get these saplings back. And I will plant them while I talk. As you can see, what's happening here is that although this one on the horizontal side, on the short side of the building, should probably be placed either up or down, probably down. We don't really have enough roof space to really do that unless I raise this building up by one, and I'm just not going to bother with that for now, as it looks right. Because what it's meant to look like is all of these, all of those log structural slats are resting on each other. The support beams are resting on each other. These are resting on those, which are resting against these, and that they would all be nailed together and holding up the building, keeping its shape strong. So what I'm going to do now though is I need a little more stone than that. I would like to, unfortunately, do we have enough steam to produce a little bit of smooth stone? We don't, so we're going to have to burn something. And I've run out of coal. That flash boiler is hungry. Anything to burn. I guess I can throw some of those logs in there, since I'm mostly done with them. It's thrown half. So the rest will become planks though. And you will be turned off. Alright, I need a little more, please. Please and thank you. The other thing we want to do is we want to pull out the diamond saw, because I had an idea for these windows. And what that is something a lot of people don't realize that you can do with the multi-blocks, is that, sorry, I'm just trying to think and do at the same time. I am notoriously bad at that. Is if I do something like this, right, it still doesn't look right because we need something to cover that and that. So why I'm cooking up the stone is because what I wanted to do was make some of those, and I think it's 4, or is it 2, or what? Maybe it's 2 vertical. Something anyway. No, not going to happen. Alright, maybe we'll just use basic smooth stone. Or, alternatively, we can use a chisel. So to make a chisel, wrong kind of chisel, that's a carpenter's block chisel. We want this chisel. A stick and a piece of iron. We can manage that, I think. We can get a chisel. Let's see what is in our chisel repository. We want something smoothish, so we want that, I think, or maybe the ornate. We'll take this. And then I'm going to cut it up. And that's perfect. Basically half slab. I want half slabs, because what you can do now is combine the same space. So we actually have, in that same block space, we have a vertical pole and the stone caps, right? So if I go around and do this, I'm going to need more of those. Fortunately, the little bit of steam that we got from the logs lets us. No, we don't want to do that yet. We want those. And then we want to cut them up. And I'm sure during the sped up part you saw that little accident with the lava. Unfortunately no lava in there because I placed the microblock wrong. That's because lava tends to spit out little fireballs, and if the fireball managed to hit something like this, then it got set on fire. Really unfortunate. So next time I'll be sure to put this on the correct one, which would be here, rather than in the same block space as the lava. I'm not sure how I managed that in the first place. I'm going to put these here, and then we want to put these in the frames. And we're out, so we want a few more. That should be plenty. 16, I'm guessing. So yeah, just a little multi-block trick for you is that you can combine multi-blocks. In fact, I can do things like this, right? And now we have a cool crossbar across it. So we're technologically dumb enough not to have glass windows, because glass is expensive. But we are smart enough to have crazy crunching block smashing machines. So a little bit contradictory, but fun. I kind of like the mixing of new and old. It tends to have this really interesting aesthetic to it. I am just going to go crazy with this because we can always put them back together. I certainly don't need 64 of them. But, oh, forgot one. There we go. Right, so we have our windows installed, and burglars can't get in because there's big things of wood in the way. Oh, hello creeper. What? I thought I had already loaded this. Right. And he gave me some gunpowder for some more, for another shot, so it's a 1-for-1 with creepers. Awesome. And the question is, can you put looting on it? Hopefully. Hopefully you can. I'd love to enchant my musket. That is for sure. So, we don't have a proper roof yet, and the roof was going to be made out of wood. It still is going to be made out of wood, but I ran out of wood and then needed to use some of that wood on the flash boiler. So, let's see. Probably got enough for the awning out here. Awning roof thing anyway. We don't have the logs though. So, I'll be back once I finish off the building. The roof is going to be very simple. It's just going to be a wooden top. And same with this awning. And then we'll get to detailing some more of this building. So I'll see you once I'm back with the roof done. Alright, I'm back. So, you might be looking at this thing and saying, wow, Rorax, that's like the boringest building in the world. And person in my head, I would tell you that you are partially right, but it was also really, really harsh. So what we're going to do in order to alleviate some of that boringness of the building, of its grey and brown existence, is just to make sure that there's some details around the place that really tell you what this building is. For one of those things we will need our handy dandy bricks. Add a few more in here, I think. Yep. I'm just going to nom some apples that fell out of this giant tree. And to do that, we are going to make lots of pieces of microblock. And what you can do with that is this. Hollow brick panels. You get a whole lot of them, which is nice. And then you can stick them together. And that's your half slab. and stick them together again. Sorry, can only have the half slab. And you use the half slab, and to do this we are going to go like that. I said like that. Right, like that. Good one, game, you did it eventually. I'm probably going to need a lot more of this, but we shall see how we go. Let me just put down my nerd block and climb up and climb up. That's pretty good. Cool. So with our little brick chimney there, we are going to, oh, and by the way, I got some more lava from the thing. What we're doing here is we are making a forge. A forge. Right. I don't have the iron for the last bit of the detail that we need because I would want an anvil sitting right there. But in here we're going to stick some lava and basically it's going to be a little forge. And that's cool. And hopefully the lava won't spill out and catch the whole thing on fire. Speaking of which, as you can see, lava and cap on. So now the roof won't burn down, which is great. And this place now needs torches on the inside. It's also nighttime. So the other thing that I wanted to do was, sure, it's a big ugly forge. I mean, forges generally were pretty ugly. But what we're going to do is that we are going to, if we can manage it, we might not be able to with the resources I have right now, but where is garden? Garden core. We want to make some garden soil. To make garden soil we need enriched soil, and to make enriched soil we need what? Compost. We need compost. So we need to make one of those, which we make out of sticks. That is not how you make sticks, but that is in slabs. So we'll make 2 of these, and for that I need 12. That is not 12. 2 compost bins. And we can stick those there. And then I believe all we need to do is chuck dirt into the compost bins. Actually, I'm wrong. Saplings. Yeah. More saplings. And then that will hopefully process into wonderful, wonderful enriched soil. Go, go. Faster. Faster, faster. Take your time. Hooray! Enriched soil. What about you? So, with our enriched soil and our dirt, we make garden soil. We can only make a couple right now. But if I put down my garden soil and then make myself a trowel, which I need some more enriched soil from, and a piece of iron and a stick. I'm out of iron, but that's okay. We want what it would be a chisel. Go, go. Go, 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 go. Let's just stick that in there. Garden soil. We have a garden trowel. So this garden trowel, if we right click, we get this interface. And right now we have 6 slots to work from. And what we can do is, if I go and grab some hummingbird bush and maybe some 9 bark And a little bit of this Canyon Creek. And maybe an actual flower or two. What's this? That is fungus. Maybe a flower or two. And a rose bush. Yeah. We're collecting flowers. Picking flowers. And maybe a lilac, since there's one over there. Now, depending on the size of your garden is the size of the flowers that can go in there. Stone bricks you can leave. So if we go back to our garden with our trowel and eat some food, we can stick the lilac in the middle, right? But we wouldn't be able to put the roses on the... Oh, we can put the roses on the outside. No, we can only put them in the major cardinals. So you can put them there, or those 4 major ones. The corners you can't because they're a large flower. But we have those there, and then we can stick some smaller flowers. These count as large flowers. That is unfortunate. See, that's the shared spot between the two. But if we maybe... I'm not sure why these count as large flowers, that's really annoying. What about these? No, they're still large. Maybe it's because of the lilac. No. They definitely count as large flowers. That's unfortunate. Oh well, we'll put the lilac in there and then we'll put like a Canyon Creek in between. No, that doesn't look very good, does it? For some reason it's doubling them up. I wonder if it's because of the larger flowers. What if I put you in the center here? And what about you in the middle? You still grow huge. Well, might have found a little bit of a bug with the garden core. But there you go, we got a little garden. And if I found some smaller flowers, I'd be able to put them in the corner, but these all count as large for some reason. Yeah. Oh well. We've got a cute little garden going though. And I think what we will do actually is we will make that a rose and a lilac for now. Cool. So, once we have a little more stuff to compost, oh, we can make the garden bigger. We can make the garden bigger, guys. Right. So now, like that, and we check it with the trowel, you'll see that there is way more open. Not really sure on the facing of those things, but we can now have a whole bunch more. They're growing up because of the roses, unfortunately, so we'll keep them out for now. And you don't have everything. Nope, we don't want the rose. So it kicks everything out because it like conflicts or something. So I need to... rosebush and lilac. There you go. Yes, I'm gardening right now, Mum. Have we filled all the slots? We haven't filled all the slots because we still have the center on each one. Nope, you have got something in your middle. Alright. Cool. See? We got a little garden. It's cute. It's very, very cute. And it's full of pretty things. Although I might want to swap one of these out for something else. There we go. Cool. Foundry has a little bit of colour outside of it now. So by the next episode, because we are going to wrap up now, hopefully we will be on to doing a little more resource gathering tasks, maybe a little bit of adventuring. We'll see about that. But I desperately need to do some more mining and processing because I need some more coal, and we will also gussy up this place with a bit more detail, but we'll handle that detail next time because we're running over time now. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.